इंडियन पॉलिटी का कुछ टॉपिक रिवीजन करूँगा, तो आप भी इस वीडियो देखते रहिए। तो पहला है स्टेट। स्टेट्स यानी sovereign geographical unity and the political unit of society. The total means state. The state is the four component of state. This number one is the population. Population means the people inhabiting the territory, and the territory, the geographical area. What is the territory? Territory is a geographical area. And sovereignty, the complete the freedom in the decision making. Sovereignty and the complete the freedom in decision making. At state, the government visible aspect of the state. The government visible aspect of state. This is the four component of the state. The organs of the state. This is the three part of the organs, and number one is the legislature and the make law, and the judiciary and the executives but checks the validity of law, and the executive law. The separation of power given by Montesquieu, and the number is the three. The three functions of the government must be divided into three different organs, and the three organs should be the supreme in their own sphere, and the mutual non-interference between the three organs in their function. And the reason for the separation of power by SOP. The power corrupts absolute power and the corrupt absolutely, and the check the corruption and nepotism, and the protect liberties from the misuse of power, and the ensure efficient and the administration. The kind of the government state. This is the monarchy and anarchy and authority yani dictatorship, and the theocracy and aristocracy. And monarchy, rule of the monarchs based on the divine right theory. Example is Britain. And anarchy, no central authority to rule, and the sometimes and the lawless, lawless, lawlessness, and the authority but dictatorship, the rule by the non the accountable ruler by government. Iraq during the Saddam Hussein, and Germany during Hitler. And the theocracy, religion, state. The state has the religion, and the head of the state is the religion figure. Example, Iran and Vatican. Democracy, colon by a government of the people, for the people, and by the people. Constitution, the basic rules that the government state, the fundamental law of the land. All other laws must conform to it. The law violating the constitution will be declared unconstitutional. And constitutional is the hierarchy of law. This is the hierarchy, the rule made by the executive, laws made by the parliament, and the constitution. The function of the constitution by grant citizenship, provide the basic rule of the coordination in the society, the structure and the function of the various organ of government, the guarantee right to the people, fundamental right, and the highlight the aspiration of society DPSP, the features of the Indian Constitution, landiness right and constitution is the sovereign state, landiness right and constitution of a sovereign state that draw from the various sources and the living document and the federal system with the unitary bias, the balance of the right and the flexibility. This is the live document. Originally is the article 395 articles and 22 parts and 8 schedules, and then now 470 articles, 25 parts and 12 schedule. The presently in अभी तक कितने articles है 470 articles and 25 parts and 12 schedule. The originally कितने था 395 articles, 22 parts and 8 schedule. The difference between the written constitution and unwritten constitution. This is the unwritten constitution. This is the written constitution and unwritten constitution. Example: Indian USA. This is the written constitution and the unwritten constitution Britain. The written constitution enacted by the Constitutional Assembly and unwritten the involved through the series of the legislation and judicial pronouncement, codified and the not codified, and the more the rigid the amendment can be done by the established the procedure, and the parliament can the easily amend the constitution like the ordinary law, and the constitutional the supremacy and the parliament and supremacy. Constitutionalism meaning the limited government and the government's authority is the derived from and is the limited by the constitution, and the key element the supreme and the rule of law, the limited government, the separation of power, the check and the balance, fundamental rights and the judiciary review, and the significance. Safeguarding democracy, the protection of fundamental rights, and the preserve rule of law, and the stability and the predictability in governance. The fisheries in India, the Article 13, the law violating fundamental rights are violated. Fundamental Right Part 3, the Constitutional Reminders, and the Rule of Law Article 14, and the procedure established by law Article 13, and the basic structure and the separation of power and the independent judiciary. Preamble and the pre plus amble. Pre यानी before and amble यानी work. To work before. The preface of Constitution and the summary of Constitution. The first use in the USA Constitution. The drive from the objective resolution the prospect by Jawaharlal Nehru is the Constitution Assembly on the 13th December 1947. Three key themes from the exam point and the meaning and the sequence of the keyword, the legal status of the preamble and the amendment of preamble. Preamble of Constitution with the people of India having the solemnly resolved to constitute India into either sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic, and to the secure to all it is the citizen, justice, social, economic, and the political liberty of through the expansion, belief, faith, and worship, the equality of status and of the opportunity, and to the promote among them all fraternity, assuring the dignity of individual and unity and the integrity of nation. In our Constituent Assembly this 26th day of the November 1949, so the hereby adopt the enact and given to ourselves this Constitution. Meaning of keyword we the people of Indian yani Constitution drive it is the authority from the people and the sovereign, the supreme decision making power lies with the state. No foreign control our external and internal affair. And socialist, the socio-economic system in which state the strive for an equitable distribution of the resources in society and prevention of the concentration of wealth. Ways to the achieve the socialism. This is the ways to the achieve the socialism and the communistic and the democratic বা Nehruvian বা Nehruvian socialist বা socialism and the communistic socialism, the complete ownership of the resource by the state, example USSR, China, during Mao, and democratic by Nehruvian socialism, the mixed economy, both the public and private sector. The democratic means Indian BSNL, Airtel, and Jio. The secular state does not have and the official religion. France and negative secularism, and Indian in positive secularism, and the complete separation of religion from the state and the public life. Example is the burqa ban in France. Example is the burqa ban in France. Burqa ban in France and the Indian positive secularism. The state play the provocative role in the promoting harmony, tolerance, and religious reform. Example ban on triple talaq. And democratic demos plus creators. Demo यानी people and creates यानी role by people, and the government is accountable to people. In Indian parliamentary democratic government is the accountable to the people through the parliament and the republic. The head of the state is the elected and not hereditary. In Indian, president in the elected, and the country is the beaten head of the state monarchy, and the elected head of the state no, and the republic no, and the democratic but democracy yes, and the Indian president head of the state president but elected head of the state yes, and the republic yes, and the democracy yes. The Japan emperor, the head of the state emperor, and the elected head of the state no, and the republic no, and the democracy yes. And the USA, the head of the state president and the elected head of the state yes, and the republic yes, and democracy yes. तो आज था ये रिवीजन का पहला क्लास।